What's good? We back in the building. 3KINGSboxing.com. We in these streets. Bo, your ass is on mute. Nobody can hear you. You had to do it again. Oh my God, bro. Look, I don't understand. I gotta remind the nigga every time. But this shit happened to me too, so I can't say nothing, bro. I can't say a goddamn thing, man. Yo, what we got today, man? We got a lot of shit to talk about, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of shit to talk about. I'm telling you, we got shit that's on standby, bro.
I'm about to say, nigga, we always got a lot of shit to talk about.
Yeah, we got shit that's on standby that needs to be discussed, man. So we gonna get into this shit. Look, I'm gonna wait for more motherfuckers to come in because they know what time the show start. I know we late. Y'all niggas know we late. You know what I'm saying? They know we late, man.
Late, G.
Man, what you think about just side topic, man, until we start the show? You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats are saying that the IBF is probably the most trustworthy sanctioning body out there, man. What you think about that?
Ooh. You know what's funny is you would think that, but here's the thing. I would say the IBF is the most trustworthy as far as the major sanctioning body that goes to undisputed. But if you actually look at the IBO, they actually do a better job of following their rankings than anybody.
And that's what I always say. I'm like, y'all got to look at the IBO. Because the IBO, man, they be on top of shit, bro. Like, their ranking system is actually better than the ranking systems of the other four major sanctioning bodies, right? Like, they got, like, this point system. I don't know how exactly it works. I haven't studied it, but they got, like, this point system, and that shit works very well for how they rank their fighters. You know what I'm saying? It does. So, and typically, as you already know, the IBO is usually accompanied by one of the major sanctioning bodies. Most of the time, it's the WBO or the IBF. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, they since they're accompanying them, you know, they get a little shine. And I've actually heard that they're talking about trying to make the IBO a fifth major sanctioning body. I've heard about that.
I hope they don't.
I hope they don't too, bro. I'm not trying to
see that
shit.
I'm not trying to see that. I'm really not trying to see that right now. I mean, you already got motherfuckers not going for undisputed. Imagine motherfuckers realizing that there's a fifth belt out there. So imagine motherfuckers for dangling for that fifth belt, not having to worry about it.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, nah, man.
So
I hope they don't. Yeah, the IBO. See, here's what I like about the IBO. Now, they may have it, because kind of like the IBF, they may have it, but you don't hear a lot about it. Like the WBC, the WBA, and even the WBO, they publicize that international silver interim and all that old shit, right? Like, they treat that motherfucker like, oh, man, having this is gold,
Yeah, right.
Like, you the real shit when you got this. The IBO don't have that, and I think the IBF has it, but they don't really publicize it, like if you were, the only thing they will publicize and push is that world title. They don't publicize, oh yeah, he's going to be fighting for the IBF Oceania Intercontinental Backyard Boogie Oogie Woogie title. They don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
Like, man, that nigga fighting for some shit. Yeah.
All right, man, shit. Let's get to the pre-show fuckery, man. Listen, man, we ain't waiting on nobody, man. If you here, you here. If you not, it is what it is. But this is why we stopped the shit before, so I don't want to hear nobody fucking crying if I stop this motherfucker again. Where y'all at? Why y'all not doing the show no more? Man, we miss y'all. This is why. Get your ass in here. Y'all know what time this motherfucker start, man. Let's get with the pre-show fuckery real quick, bro. If you laugh, you going to hell. Yo, man, I gotta see this shit again, bro. If y'all didn't notice, neither one of these niggas got arms, and they literally trying to punch each other, man. If you laughing, you going to hell. Remember that, Bo. Better stop laughing.
I'm going to hell anyway, nigga. I'm an old nigga, goddamn. I've been living here. I'm married. I've been living here, nigga.
How the fuck do you win this fight, bro? Yo, this nigga try to hit him from. He tried to hook him from the outside, bro. My man tried to throw a hook from the outside, bro.
Oh man. No. Hold on.
He tried to throw a hook.
So that shit play. One more time.
Yo. Like, you can't say they got good reflexes because you gotta be like really in close, dog, to hit these motherfuckers, right? Both of them gotta be really in close to hit each other, so you can't say they got good head movement, good reflexes. You know what I'm saying? Dog, that shit is, and it's funny because I'm like, they pretty much made a whole new meaning to what fighting on the inside really means, dog.
No shit.
Like, you literally, man, these motherfuckers is literally like inches. They gotta be inches away from each other, dog, to inflict damage. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole new meaning of fighting on the inside, B.
Oh, dog.
Yo, Denise Ward is in the building. What's up, Denise?
Nigga coming for.
Bro, they was really trying to hit each other, bro. That shit is hilarious. That shit is hilarious, bro. All right, man. Let's jump right into this shit. What's up?
Encourage them two niggas to fight. Need his ass whooped, man.
Yeah. Hey, you know, whoever was recording this shit laughing need their ass whooped. Don't worry about us laughing. Whoever recorded this shit, whoever was the fucking source, you know what I'm saying? They need their ass whooped, bro. Real talk. All right, man. Let's jump into this shit, man, because I don't have all night, man. I'm not waiting on motherfuckers, man. Look, podcast gonna get shut down again. Y'all better get in here, man. All right, man. For the first one, Tony Harrison, bro. That motherfucker was going in. Like, he was, bro. That motherfucker was going in on fucking Jermell Charlo anyway today, bro. Like, it was a situation where for a second it was like Tony Harrison forgot that he quit twice. The motherfucker quit against Jared Hurd and he quit against Willie Nelson. You know what I'm saying? So it was a situation where he was talking so hard, so greasy that it seemed like he forgot that he quit against these motherfuckers, man. Like,
yeah, he did. The nigga pushed the reset button.
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah, like, you know, when you playing Tecmo Bowl, nigga, and a nigga whooping your ass, you go hit the reset button. That's exactly what happened. But he's like, he forgot that he did this shit, bro. He's talking so greasy, dog, as if he's like the man in boxing. Like he's got Canelo, Deontay Wilder type status. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like the status Anthony Joshua had before he lost to Andy Ruiz, right? He's like, he got that kind of status. That's how he's talking, man. That shit is insane.
The first press conference. He sees in my eyes when I was in this shit. Like, boy, what you want to do? He like, oh shit, you crazy? Yeah, I am crazy, motherfucker. You seen it the first time. Then I'm about everything that he thinks he about. I'm about all that. I want all the smoke.
Damn!
That motherfucker went off, man. He went off.
Woo.
Like, what do you think about this shit, Bo? Let me say this. The first fight, tell everybody what you saw in the first fight. Who did you have winning that fight, man?
I actually thought that you could have made a case for either one, but if you asked me to pick, I would have gave that fight to Charlo. I just think that you could make the case that Charlo did enough to win some of the closer rounds, and then in the close fight, you can make the case that, okay, he might have pulled it out. But I wasn't upset for people to say that Tony Harris won that fight because he just had more moments. Charlo had a hard time with that jab. The athleticism was giving him a whole lot of problems. I thought that Charlo felt that Harrison would quit, and then he would come on toward the end, and then when he didn't, it kind of like got desperate time for him. Like, oh man, this nigga's not quitting.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I said. I actually had Charlo winning by only 7-5, which is only a point. So the fight could have been a draw, or it could have went to Harris, because you could make that case, man, that Harris was definitely controlling that fight.
Yeah, I saw the same thing. I mean, Harrison's jab was nice. You know what I'm saying? He did very good at dictating the pace behind that jab. Jermell basically seemed as if he had no answer for it. He wasn't throwing enough punches. He had low volume in that fight. You know what I'm saying? He didn't adjust to what Tony Harrison was doing, at least early on. Let me say that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Made adjustments a little bit later, but at that point, you know, for the judges anyway, it was too late. But then Tony, at times, it's like he just stuck to the jab. He didn't do anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like he was afraid to come out of his comfort zone. So when Jermell Charlo started coming, you know, basically adjusting to what he was doing later on in that fight, you know, Tony Harrison had no fucking answers after that. So, I mean, it was a good fight. Could have went either way. I believe I edged it to Jermell as well. You know what I'm saying? But the way Tony Harrison is talking as if he dominated this motherfucker like it was a 120 to 108 type of scorecard and shit at the end of that fight. You know what I'm saying? And Jermell is just kind of sitting there. You know, he's picking up the microphone, trying to see if the mic worked. He has got a second microphone. He's trying to see if that one worked. It didn't work, wasn't turned on, so he put that down. And he just kind of sitting there. And, as you know, when you go further into the press conference, Tony Harrison is getting even more greasier, bro. Like, he's just calling him a pussy, called him a hoe. You know what I'm saying? He said, basically, he was sitting down. He said, "Shut the fuck up, motherfucker." Told him that. And Jermell just like, all right, man. And I'm thinking, is he too fired up for this shit, man? Is this going to be a case where you have so much animosity towards your opponent that you're bound to make a mistake come fight night, man? What do you think about that?
Yeah, see, here's the thing, man. When you start doing things outside of your character as a fighter, and most of the time, I'm going to say as an athlete, period, right? When you start doing things outside of your character, it changes who you are. It changes your thought process. Hell, it even changes your approach to the fight. The way he's talking like, man, I'm finna go on him. I'm going to just knock this motherfucker out. I'm going to jump on him and knock him out.
Right.
So he's talking like, my game plan that worked for the first time, I ain't going to do that. I'm coming at you. I'm getting up in your grill. You know, I'm the motherfucking champion. I dominated you and beat the shit out of you, motherfucker. It's going to be, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be Scary Movie Part 2. It's going to be the repeat of the first show. Right. And that's how he's talking. He's talking like this is easy work, right? And that could be a problem because what you always have to remember is going into a rematch, yeah, you have something that worked for you the first fight, but the motherfucker you're fighting coming with a game plan to offset what you did in the first fight.
Exactly.
So if you ain't working on a game plan to make sure, hey, if he tries to offset what I got, what I want to do from the first fight, I got to make sure I have a game plan to make sure that, hey, I can nullify it and get it back to where I want to get to. And the way he's talking, dog, he's talking like I've been the motherfucker for all this time. Like this the nigga that we should have saw back when he fought Willie Nelson.
Right. Both of them.
That nigga been like coming.
Willie Nelson and Jared.
Dog, you sound like a true live Detroit Crunk Gym nigga. Right. Where have that nigga been?
Right, exactly. So I mean, it's like if you, my thing is this, bro. If you've already displayed in the past that you have a tendency to quit, to me, you can't just talk like that, bro. Like it's kind of like when in these motherfucking streets, bro. If you get your ass, if you were a nigga that talked a lot of shit, right? You was a guy that tried to manifest this Superman type of aura, this Superman type of character, you know what I'm saying? And you wanted everybody to believe that you were that dude, and you go out here and you get beat the fuck up in front of everybody, you can no longer act like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Now, boxing, everybody's supposed to take at least one loss. You know what I'm saying? Guys like Joe Calzaghe and Floyd Mayweather, Ricardo Lopez, you know what I'm saying? Rocky Marciano.
Spinaki.
Spinaki. Yes, a plethora of other guys. You know, they were fortunate enough. Some of them didn't fight the right fights. But we won't go there. You know what I'm saying? Andre Ward, right? They were fortunate enough to not lose a fight. But in boxing, you're supposed to take at least one fucking L. Hell, it's expected you take a couple of fucking L's, a few of them, right? So losing in boxing doesn't mean you can't portray yourself in that manner. But quitting twice, that's a different story. You see what I'm saying? So excuse me if I don't believe the bullshit that Tony Harrison is trying to portray in this press conference. You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing is, he's basically doing a lot of, how do I say, he's trying to basically make it seem like Jermell is the hoe. He's the guy that's basically lying to the fans. Like, he's got this image, this persona that he's trying to portray, and he's gonna be the guy to expose that. That's what he was trying to do in this fucking press conference. You see what I'm saying? So listen, man. Like I said, excuse me if I don't fucking believe this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It just, to me, it's like a motherfucker out in the street that I done seen get his ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? He like, yeah, when I get in that nigga ass, man, it's over. I'm just be like, all right, man. You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna say, bro? Go ahead.
You know this is like, dog?
Go ahead.
This is like that one dude, that one nigga that's talking like he breaking backs out of motherfuckers. Like, man, I'm all up in that, I'll be all up in them hoes back. And you talk to girl, man, that motherfucker like this came to it.
You know what? Be real, man. When they do that shit, man, like, females gonna do whatever they can to dog a nigga, man. That's just what it is. I don't even be listening to them hoes when they say that shit. I be like, you lying. You know damn well.
I don't know, man. Hey, dog. When it be every motherfucker you didn't fuck with that saying, I be like, hey, man. And it be everyone you didn't fuck with. Hold on, dog. Yeah. Everyone ain't got nothing against you, bro.
Yeah, if it's more than one, then that's a problem, yeah. That's a problem, bro. But you're right. I mean, it makes it hard to believe that motherfucker telling the truth. Same thing, man. Your actions speak louder than your words, man. If you gonna be that greasy motherfucker from Detroit coming straight out of the Kronk gym under the tutelage of Emmanuel Stewart, then you can't be in the ring quitting.
That's true. Can't. Well, I agree with that. He can't.
So when I'm watching this press conference, I don't feel nothing, but I'm just like, all right, nigga, whatever, nigga, shut the fuck up. Normally I'm like, yeah, you tell him.
Yo.
This one I was just like, whatever. Next.
Well, that's how Charlo was treating him. Like, all right, motherfucker,
exactly.
Charlo like, all right, nigga, man, you just talk.
Normally I'd have been like, damn, Charlo gonna let motherfucker talk to you like that, but in reality, it's almost like a little nigga talking to a big nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You had little niggas talk. Yeah.
Nigga, I knocked your bitch ass out, nigga. Yeah. Niggas looking down like.
All right, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you go out the way I want to make my order, nigga?
Yeah, you finished, bro? Because, you know what I'm saying, I got shit I got to do, bro. That's pretty much what I felt too, bro. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to the fight. Jermell Charlo's biggest thing, or his biggest knock on Tony Harrison whenever they were scheduled to fight previously, I think it was in September, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember when it was. But, and then Jermell, who did Jermell end up fighting instead of Tony Harrison?
Some dude, man. Yeah,
he fought somebody. I can't remember the fuck it was, but whenever that guy filled in for him, Jermell was like, well, this motherfucker don't want to fight, man. You know, because apparently he had like an ankle injury or something like that.
Yeah, motherfucker had a mysterious.
Yeah, he had an ankle injury, and Jermell was like, the motherfucker not really injured. He don't want to fight me. One thing he pointed out was like, look, this motherfucker wearing boots and shit. He's supposed to have an ankle injury. Why is this nigga wearing boots? You know what I'm saying? He walking just fine. Why is it? If he had an ankle injury, if it was that bad, right? Then why is he having no trouble walking, wearing boots and shit like that? That's what he said.
I agree with him.
So, yeah, man. I mean, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that Tony Harrison faked his injury. I really believe Tony Harrison wants to fight him and basically beat him, you know, even more definitively in the rematch, because he knows people think that Jermell Charlo won the fight, right? Motherfuckers booed. You know what I'm saying? When the scorecards were announced. He doesn't like that, right? So I don't think Tony would be like, you know, I'm injured right now, fuck it, right? Even though he did quit in 2 fights, the one thing we got to remember is he actually took those fights and they actually got in the ring. He just quit after.
That's true. He just quit afterwards.
He just
I agree with that.
Exactly. So I don't think he quits before, especially against a motherfucker he's already beaten. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say that he faked the injury like Terry Flanagan did. You know what I'm saying? When he was supposed to fight Felix Verdejo. He faked the shit out that injury. You
and then completely left the division.
Yeah, completely left the division.
That nigga faked the injury next week or moving up. What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Nigga, I thought you was hurt.
Exactly. So, yeah, that motherfucker faking injuries. But Tony, I don't think so, man. But at the end of the day, like I said, you know, the way he's acting, come on, man. You can't do that when you've quit in the ring twice. Just point blank and simple, dog. Word up. But I think it's a good fight. Go ahead.
I just want to tell you something. I don't think he faked the injury, but I do believe this. I believe he was hurt to the point where he knew that going into a fight like this, I got to be 100%. See, a lot of time fighters aren't 100% coming out of training camp, and that's just what it is, man. If you've ever participated in Golden Gloves or ever went to the gym sparring and tried to go to work the next day, you're not 100%. If you play basketball and tried to go to work the next day, nigga, you're not 100%, right? And I think he realized, hey, man, if I'm gonna rematch this dude, I gotta be at 100%.
Right.
So if he wanted to say, hey, I'm at 85 or 75%, that's not enough for me to go into the ring, I don't have a problem with that.
I agree 100%. It's a good fight, man. I can't wait to see it. You know what I'm saying? Who you got early pick? Who would you have in that fight?
This is one of
them breakdown, just quick little.
It's
probably gonna change, nigga.
Yeah, early pick right now, man. I'm gonna go with Charlo. Yes. I think Charlo realized what he did wrong, and he'll make that correction in the second fight. I don't think Tony Harrison, especially with the way he's talking, I don't think he has that extra gear. I think if Charlo comes out early right away starts getting on him, I'm not gonna say Harrison to quit, but he'll start having them doubt. Because there was a couple times in that fight I saw Harrison have a little doubt, but he stuck to it. So I'm gonna go with Charlo, man. I think he has the ability to get it back.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. I think Jermell Charlo's gonna come back up in here and do what he was supposed to do in the first fight. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have much more volume than he did in that first fight. I guarantee that. My man Jeff Boxing said, even with all those guys, every single one of them got a suspect W. The undefeated champion is kind of a myth. Right. I mean, he's talking about all the guys that we said were undefeated fighters. They all do have suspect W's in the eyes of fans, right? So he's absolutely right. The undefeated champion is a myth. And it pisses me off that motherfuckers are striving for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, just make the goddamn fights, because when you're striving for that, then you start taking whack-ass fights. You know what I'm saying? Matchups nobody's asking for. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. So, yeah, I agree with Jeff Boxing 100%. My man Heisenberg said Tony had Charlo heated during the first press conference. Charlo kept saying that Tony faked his ankle injury. Right. Exactly. My man Eric R. said, I don't believe in either fighter's tough guy image, but they're entertaining. When Jermell said he wouldn't grant Tony a rematch if he won, that made me look at him like Michael Myers. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man, but at the end of the day, the rematch is here. We're gonna see who's the better man, dog.
That's dumb. That's dumb right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, dude, that's a trilogy right there. That's money.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm saying. My man probably said something a long time ago that I agree with. He said, man, these niggas need PR people. And he's absolutely fucking right, dog.
Yeah, they need PR people. All these motherfuckers need PR people, man. For real.
Well, you talking about something, if you win, you ain't gonna give him, nigga, that's a grudge match. Nigga, that's money, baby. People go, you missing out on money, baby.
Especially if you barely win, nigga. If he goes out there and beats the dust off this motherfucker, then maybe not, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
But if it's another close fight, man, come on, man. Nigga, that's money, like Bo said.
I ain't gonna lie. If you win a close fight, that's some hoe ass shit. Yeah. If you don't get my rematch.
Yeah. Word up.
I'm serious. That's some whole ass shit. That just tells me if you'd have won the first fight, you wouldn't look back at the nigga.
Yeah.
That's why I admire David Benavidez. He won the first fight. People felt like it was close, so he rematched the nigga. He said, all right, man, fuck it, I'll rematch.
He didn't even need to rematch Ronald Gavril. He didn't even need to rematch him, bro. Nope. He just did it because number one, he said he was sick, right, in the first fight. Nobody believed him. Number two, it was a close fight, so he just said, fuck it, I'll fight the nigga again, and whooped his ass. Then he knocked him out. Didn't he knock him out?
Sure did.
Yeah. So.
Yep, same thing with Wilder. Everybody said, oh, you lost to Tyson. All right, fuck it, I'm going to fight Tyson again. Fuck it.
Tyson, Luis Ortiz.
Yeah, but yeah, both of them, Luis and Tyson. Fuck it, I'll fight him again. Fuck it.
Exactly. All right, man. Let's move on to the next one. So your favorite milk dud head motherfucker, Tim Bradley, man. Pinky in the brain. It's pinky in the brain. For all you that don't know, that's that little mouse with that big ass head. That's exactly. Look, everybody be talking about Chris Eubank Sr. look like Donatello, man. Tim Bradley look like fucking Brain, bro. You know what I'm saying? Look just like Brain, man. So Brain was on ESPN, and this is, we published this as it happened, but since the podcast resurfaced, we feel like we want to talk about it, man. We want to jump in this shit. So Brain was on ESPN. Basically, he was asked about Tank Davis. This motherfucker said, hey, man, shit, I don't even want to hear nothing about no Tank Davis. He fighting bums and Uber drivers and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's talented, but the kid ain't fought nobody, man. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people was like, you know, we got a lot of traction on the 3 Kings page about that video. A lot of cats was saying, yeah, it's about time somebody says something. A lot of other motherfuckers was like, Tim Bradley, you a hoe-ass nigga that ducked Errol Spence by retiring. You know what I'm saying? Then you had some dumb motherfuckers that were going at Terrence Crawford and saying, listen, Yuriorkis Gamboa might be Tank Davis's best fight, but he was also Terrence Crawford's best fight. So what does that make Terrence Crawford look like? That nigga ain't got no resume. Reason why they're going at Terrence Crawford is because Tim Bradley is pretty much always sticking up for Terrence Crawford when they're talking about the whole Crawford-Spence ordeal, right? So they felt like they was going to attack the homeboy and shit ain't got nothing to do with it and say his resume's whack. Say, look. Then they was like, they even clowned Yuriorkis Gamboa. They was like, man, Yuriorkis Gamboa Chan always suspect, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that nigga hurt Terrence Crawford, you know what I'm saying? So nigga knocked him down and shit. That don't mean nothing. Man, Terrence Crawford a bitch, man. That nigga don't got no motherfucking resume, Nick. I had to go in there myself and calm that bullshit down. You know what I'm saying? I rarely ever participate, but I had to go in there myself and be like, oh, y'all shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? But what do you think about all of that I just said, man? What do you think about that? Let's start with Tank Davis. Does he fight bums and Uber drivers? What's your take on that?
No, he don't fight bums and Uber drivers. Now, is he fighting the cream of the crop? Is he fighting the guys we want to see him fight at that level that he's being pushed to? No, he's not fighting them either. Okay? But you can't say he's fighting bums and Uber drivers. Here's the one thing. Listen. Let's get something clear. I'm going to put this out on the table. Everybody know how I feel about, Timothy Sadler, right? Everybody know how I feels about him, right? I've said this several times. 140, my nigga. 147, fucking top ranked company, man. Okay.
135, 140, my nigga, man.
Yeah, right. 130, 140, my nigga. Yep. 147, top ranked fucking company, man. Yep. But Tim always puts his foot in his mouth. I could not like you, and I will defend you. I cannot like you, and if you say something that makes sense, I will agree with you.
Right.
But whether I like you or don't like you, if you say something, and I can prove to you this is what makes what he said look messed up, well, here it is for Bradley. He said he's fighting Uber drivers and all that. Well, one of those dudes he fought happened to have been a Jose Pedraza. Jose Pedraza was undefeated and the champion when Tank fought him. Guess who else Pedraza fought? After Tank, Pedraza fought Vasyl Lomachenko. So if Pedraza, who was an Uber driver and a bum, fought Vasyl Lomachenko after Tank, then what the fuck does that make Vasyl Lomachenko for fighting fucking Pedraza? Because remember when he fought Pedraza, I think Pedraza had regained the title at that time, didn't he?
Yeah, he had beat the Mexican cat. Damn, dog.
Yeah.
The Mexican cat, Raimundo Beltran. He beat
Yep. Raimundo Beltran. That's right. He sure did. Right? So he losing the Tank, worked his way back up and re-grabbed the belt. So is that motherfucker a bum? Right. Because if he is, when Tank fought him, he had to be really garbage when Vasyl Lomachenko fought him, right? Okay? Exactly. Another guy is a guy by the name of Liam Smith. Liam Smith at that time was in between B- and C+ level fighter. Okay? We was trying to see if he had what he had to get over that hump. Tank Davis fought him. Now we can talk about the Fonsecos and all them, but those are guys you fight in between when you become a champion or when you looking for other fights. The Fonsecos and Ricardo Nunez. Those are always the guys you can look at anybody's resume that's gonna be in between your last top fight to your next top motherfucking fight. So I'm not gonna sit and say he fought bombs. I'm not gonna sit and say he fought bombs and Uber drivers. But I am going to say, I know what Timothy was trying to say was the boy hasn't been challenging himself lately, and Timothy is absolutely right about that.
Ah, man. Are you done? This old happy-go-lucky, credit-giving ass motherfucker. Hell yeah, he been fighting bums and Uber I will say this on top of that. He's also fighting washed up world champions. Washed up former world champions are trying to get fights with washed up former world champions. And I'll add to that, coming off losses. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I got it right here, bro. Here go the resume.
We are.
Here go the resume. 0-4, debut, 4-7, 1-1, 2-8, 3-9 draws, 47-31 and 1 draw, 4-4 and 2 draws, 5-3. Finally, nigga, he fights a nigga that's at least 8-1. But then goes back to a whack nigga, 40-18, but he was a former champion with 4 draws. Washed up former champion, that's his first one. 17-4, 1 draw, 15-5, 28-18. Then he fights Jose Pedraza. So you trying to tell me he ain't fighting no Uber drivers?
No, see, those are dudes that everybody.
Not everybody.
Fights, on their way moving up the ranks.
Vasyl Lomachenko did that? Vasyl Lomachenko did that?
Well, okay, wait a minute.
Hold on, fuck that. Naoya Inoue did that? Kosei Tanaka did that?
No.
Then you can't say everybody.
Okay, most of the time, majority of the time, guys fight motherfuckers like this as they moving up through the fucking ranks being pushed. God damn it. Okay. I know, right? But Timothy Bradley is trying to say here lately the nigga ain't been doing that. Listen, I get what Timothy was trying to say. Like I said, the motherfucker hasn't been challenging themselves. And I get him, and I agree with him on that. I agree. Once you became a champion, nigga, you fell back, right? But as somebody, as a former fighter, to say what he said, I think that's what people was outrageous about. But make no mistake about it. Tank does need to do, like for me, hearing something like that, I'm not going to challenge Timothy Bradley. I'm going to go out and do something about it. I'm going to be like, all right, well, fuck it then. Give me Vasyl. Give me Tevin Farmer. Give me fucking Devin Haney.
Right. I mean, listen, man. You know, at the end of the day, I went through his resume. You're right. Typically, when you have a highly touted prospect, a highly respected prospect in your stable, you put him against a bunch of bum-ass Uber drivers. And this is why I say Tim Bradley's not lying. The guy did fight Uber drivers. The only thing is he didn't put it in context. The majority of these guys fight Uber drivers, right? But here's the deal. After he beat Jose Pedraza, he fought Francisco Fonseca. He was undefeated, but nobody knew who that guy was. So most people are going to say he's an Uber driver. He also fought Liam Walsh right after he fought Jose Pedraza. Nobody knows who that guy is. He's on the UK circuit. He's actually a B-level UK circuit fighter, which makes him a C-level fighter in the world circuit. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I said. He's between that B+, C- level.
Right. So nobody knows that guy. So what they're going to say is that's an Uber driver. You know what I'm saying? The only way you not on Uber driver lift status, like my man Eric R just said, is when motherfuckers remotely know who the fuck you are on the world level. Not just in your area, on the world level. You see what I'm saying? And Fonseca, Liam Walsh, hell, Hugo Ruiz, a former fucking 122 fucking pound champion. They didn't know him. But Hugo Ruiz had never fought, if I'm not mistaken, he had never fought at 130. Hugo Ruiz was the guy that was filling in for Abner Mares when Abner Mares, I believe, hurt his eye or some shit, right?
Yeah, Abner Mares hurt his eye, pulled out the fight.
Right, pulled out the fight. He filled in for Abner Mares. Well, fucking
and Abner Mares was coming off a loss.
Let me finish. Abner Mares, yeah, I got it, nigga. I don't need you to finish for me.
Okay, because I got some comeback for you. Because there's a lot of motherfuckers I can name.
You bring your comeback. You bring your comeback.
Nobody know who the fuck Jose Benavidez was.
Let me finish my shit, and you come back with your shit. Right? Fuck. This nigga filling in for a motherfucking named Abner Mares, right? Former champion who was coming off of what, Bo? What was he coming off of?
Off that L, baby.
Exactly. He lost to Leo fucking Saint Santa goddamn Cruz, nigga, right? And moved up to 130 to fight Tank Davis. Coming off a loss. But wait, there's more. Before that, he fought the guy that Javier Fortuna just fucking knocked out in 2 rounds. Jesus Cuellar, right? Former WBA 126-pound champion. Coming up to 130. What? Coming off of what, Bo?
Cuellar was coming off a loss.
Exactly. Coming off a fucking loss. You know what I'm saying? So he fought Uber drivers early in his goddamn career. Fought guys that are perceived to be Uber and Lyft drivers because nobody knew who the fuck they were later in his career. And then he fought a couple or more than a couple because he fought Cristobal Cruz earlier in his career, who was also a former champion. At the time, the nigga had 18 fucking losses. He has 22 losses at this date. You know what I'm saying? He fought him earlier in his career. So he fought Uber drivers, perceived to be Uber drivers, and fucking washed up former champions his entire goddamn career. I agree with the brain. And then not only do I agree with brain, I would have added more to this shit. But them niggas like, what's the nigga name? Andre Ward. And then the mother 2 fake ass analysts that were on the other side of him, they just sitting there like, hey, that's not fair, guy. That's not fair. Gervonta Davis has done a lot for the boxing community. It's not fair. He does a lot on Twitter, guy. He does a whole lot on Twitter. Fuck out of here, man. What's your little comeback?
Okay, here's my little comeback. The problem is Timothy Bradley sitting there looking like a fucking hypocrite. You picking on Tank. Okay, well, there's a motherfucker by the name of Miguel Marriaga who lost at 126 to Sosa and went up to 130 and fought a Vasil fucking Lomachenko. Back-to-back title shot. Are you kidding me right now, Timothy Bradley? Okay, wait a minute. Let's try a nigga by the name of Jesse fucking Vargas who lost to you and got a title shot right after that. After losing to you, Timothy fucking Bradley. So you sound like a fucking hypocrite. Who the fuck is Jose Benavidez? What the fuck did Amir Khan do to deserve a title at 147? He ain't even won.
Hold on. I will not let you disrespect Terrence Crawford like that.
Put your shit.
Terrence Crawford ain't had no choice but to fight Amir fucking Khan because the PBC freezing him out. He got no choice.
I don't care if Amir Khan frees him out. What the fuck did Amir Khan do for you to tell me this nigga deserved a title goddamn shot when he's done nothing at 147? Who the fuck did he beat it? Nothing at 147.
A title shot and $5 million to go with that.
Okay, Jason Sosa fighting Miguel Burchelt? Really? Sosa? So he looked like a hypocrite. But the whole point is, as a former fighter, you know better to call the word bomb and Uber. You know better than to say that as a former fighter. I get what this Milk, Doug, Bob, Aaron, Dick sucking top rank motherfucker needs to do more. I 100% agree. But when I look at your stable, hell, when I look at even your fucking resume, I guarantee you I'll see the same fucking thing. I'll say,
I'm pulling it up. Tim Bradley. Yeah. Yeah.
No, now don't look at 135 or 140.
Nah, hold on. Debut. 0-1, 3-2, 1-9 with 3 draws. 14-42 with 5 draws. 0-1, 11-16 with 2 draws. 10-2. Hey, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At least a nigga fought a nigga with a winning record before his 10th goddamn fight, right?
Okay, I give you that.
6-2, 9-11 with 1 draw, 8-0, 13th fight. Let me go back to Tank. Tank ain't fighting no nigga 8-0 in his 13th mother. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This motherfucker didn't fight a nigga with a winning record until his 12th fight, Bo. 12th fight, Bo. Nah, nigga, don't.
Tapia, 16-9.
Nigga,
wait a minute. Didn't Tank fight a nigga? Oh, hold on. I'm looking at somebody else.
He didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Jermell Charlo had a fucking winning record. The nigga was 47-31. Excuse me.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
They just used to getting his ass whooped. At least the motherfucking Tim fought was 8-0. Shit.
Hey, then he fought Water 5-3, Dooley 8-1. Then a nigga Cruz 40-18.
Man, look, you know I'm right. You know I'm fucking right. And that shit you said about Terrence Crawford, that's some bullshit, because you know goddamn well the reason why this motherfucker's looking at Dejas Cavaliauskas, motherfucking Amir Khans, Kell Brooks, and Bobo fucking Jones is because the PBC has froze this nigga out. That's why. You know I'm fucking right. Look, Arrow the Truth Spence froze the nigga out. All of them done froze his ass out, bro. So he can't get a fight at 147. Now, signing with Top Rank, that's neither here nor there. We ain't gonna talk about that. The whole point is...
I do believe, as of recently, a motherfucker by the name of Sean Porter said he'll fight Terrence, and they said, we're not interested in that fight. Stop, nigga. You cannot defend this shit today.
That's his friend, man. You want a nigga to fight his friend.
Yes, motherfucker. Wait a minute. We tell brothers to help niggas better. Nigga, wait a minute. If me and you is in the heavyweight division, I'm one and you two and there's a vacant belt, nigga, we fighting.
Hell yeah, nigga, I'm gonna whoop your ass and become champ.
Exactly. Paul. You starting to sound like Tony Harrison over here.
Hell yeah. Oh, hell nah, bro. Word up, man. You're right. They wanted the Klitschko's to fight each other. I used to tell people, I used to be like, why the fuck do you want to see Vitaly and Vladimir fight each other? That's automatically going to be a fixed fight. Vitaly conceded to his brother being a multi-belt holder, right?
Why he never tried to become a unified champion. He just made WBC title defense.
He conceded to his little brother. He said, I'm going to let my little brother control that. So what do you think would have happened if those two would have fought? Vitaly would have dived because he would have let his little brother become the bigger person as he had his whole fucking career. Vitaly enjoyed his career, but he enjoyed watching his brother dominate the division more.
He sure did.
So Vitaly definitely would have took a dive and knocked himself out. The nigga would have hit himself in the face like Tyson Fury did in that fight, bro. But he would have knocked himself out. You know what I'm saying? And Vitaly would have, Vladimir would have won the fight. And it used to piss me off when people used to, they gotta fight. No, I don't want to see a fixed boxing match, bro. I don't want to see a fixed boxing match. But anyway, man, Tim Bradley's correct. Let's move on to the next one.
This nigga, hold on. You tried to slide.
Oh, man.
My reflexes might be a little slow, motherfucker, but they ain't dead.
Let's move to the next one. Mr. You heard him. Y'all know who that is. Who is that? Who that, Bo?
Let's let him you know. I already know.
You heard him. Mr. You heard him. He basically said in a recent interview that Deontay Wilder was smart for turning down that $100 million offer for 3 fights, and one of them was a guaranteed rematch or something like that. It wasn't a guaranteed rematch. One of them was guaranteed to be a fight with Anthony Joshua with the possibility of a rematch. That's what it was. All right. He said he was smart for turning down that offer. Now, Bo has a lot of shit to say about this because me and Bo, as we always say, we have conversations, you know, privately and shit. We talk a lot about boxing. We don't just leave it here. We talking boxing every day. Bo has said a lot of good points about why that is a true statement, man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's a true statement for this. See, the number one thing that people like to point out is when Ruiz beat Joshua, that could have been Wilder. No, motherfucker, that was not going to be Wilder. It was always Wilder was going to have a fight, which was going to be Brazili, and then Joshua was going to have a fight, which was going to be Big Baby Miller, who wound up pulling out, and then they was going to fight each other. Okay, so that's the number one thing that motherfuckers say instead of accepting that L that they boy lost. That's the number one thing they say, right? Oh, that could have been Wilder. No, motherfucker, no. Nah. Wilder was going to have a fight. Joshua was going to have a motherfucking fight.
Exactly.
Then the nigga's going to fight. So he was smart for turning it down. And I said this. I said, like, me and you talked about what I got going on right now with the medical situation, right? Wilder has perks that he likes to enjoy. And he likes being the number one man. He's the PBC head fucking figure man over there. Okay? Right. He's number one. He's the top of the fucking food chain. If he would have went to the zone, he wouldn't have been the top of the food chain. He'd have been the third, maybe the fourth option because you would have had Joshua, you would have had Canelo, and you would have had Golovkin. Maybe even fifth because they was trying to bring in Vladimir Klitschko.
Sure.
Okay? So He wouldn't have been at the top of the food chain. He wouldn't have been able to say, "Hey, I want to fight on this date or take control of this or whatever he wanted to do." So he was like, "Wait a minute, it's like that job. You have a job. The only thing about your job is they're not paying you enough. So you have all these perks. Like if you want to work from home, you can work from home. New job comes along, they offer you all this money. No perks, nigga. No, you need to be in the office every fucking day.
Yeah, right.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker, if you late, you gotta take a vacation day, nigga.
Exactly.
Or a day no pay, right? So he liked the perks. Then on top of that, if he let's say he took the contract, well, he would have had a contract that wasn't good for the papers printed on. You think they gonna give him $20 million to fight Luis fucking Ortiz? You think they was gonna give him $20 million? Then if he took the $20 million, we probably wouldn't have seen the Tyson Fury motherfucking fight.
He never would have fought Luis Ortiz under that contract. That's a PBC DAZN situation. He never would have fought Luis Ortiz. He probably would have fought fucking Manuel Char. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trevor Bryan. It would have been somebody, bro.
Right. It would have been somebody, but the fights we get, like the Tyson Fury fight never would happen, like you said. The Luis Ortiz fight never would happen. He never would have had a pay-per-view he was the main motherfucking focus of that fucking pay-per-view. That wouldn't have happened under DAZN. So it was a huge gamble at the time. But it's a gamble if you're looking at now that's been paying off. A lot of people like counting other motherfuckers' money. I don't give a shit about another pocket. Fuck, I don't care about it. But what I am watching is his moves, man. Deontay Wilder's been on TV shows. This motherfucker standing next to fucking Magic goddamn Johnson. The motherfucker was at the fucking White House. I mean, come on, man. He's doing whatever it is he's doing. So turning down that $100 million, it allowed Deontay Wilder to have the freedom to do the shit that he's doing right now. And you can't knock him. He just had a successful pay-per-view with Tyson Fury. If the rematch with Luis Ortiz, if that's just as successful, then you have another rematch with Tyson Fury. So that's 3 pay-per-view fights that if they turn out to be a success, guess what? It was a smart move for the man. Exactly. He has control of his own career, and I never will knock a dude that would take a gamble on on himself, man. I mean, that's what we do here at 3 Kings Boxing.
That's what we do with 3 Kings. Absolutely, we're taking a gamble on ourselves. Abso-fucking-lutely. You know, here's the deal, man. I actually agree with Bo for the first time. Nah, I agree with him. He's right. Listen, man, look at what happened. Look at the landscape. Look at DAZN's heavyweight landscape right now. They scratching and scraping. They actually hoping if Andy Ruiz defeats Anthony Joshua, he sticks around with DAZN. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's going to happen. I think Joshua gets his belts back. But just think about it, hypothetically speaking. If he defeats Anthony Joshua in the rematch, they're going to be hoping he sticks around with DAZN, man. If he doesn't, man, they got a bunch of prospects at heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? They're off the heavyweight scene until they bring them other motherfuckers back up. Or unless they build those other motherfuckers up. You know what I'm saying? Joseph Parker, Derek Chisora, that's not going to be enough. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be enough, bro. You know what I'm saying? But what I do look at is if he would have went to DAZN, he would have had a much easier route. But Deontay Wilder don't want an easier route. You know what I'm saying? I really believe they would have gave him, I think it was $20 million. They were saying they were going to try to make the Dominic Brazil fight. I don't know how that would have happened with Brazil being on PBC. PBC, it's not necessarily that PBC doesn't work with Eddie Hearn. It would have been a situation of where the fight's going to be aired, right? PBC has a contract with Showtime and Fox. And then DAZN is fucking DAZN. There would have been a conflict of interest there. Where's the fight going to air at? You know what I'm saying?
That's very true.
So it's not that PBC doesn't work with Matchroom or doesn't fuck with Eddie Hearn or anything like that. It's just a situation of where was it going to be aired at. So I don't think the Dominic Brazil fight would have happened if he would have took that deal, right? WBC wouldn't have mandated him. He probably would have been fighting fucking Dillian White, to be honest with you, right? That's a harder challenge. But let's say if he would have got past Dillian White, who was left? Manuel Char, Trevor Bryant, Michael Hunter. You know what I'm saying? All of those are easier fights than Luis Ortiz, in my opinion. All of those are easier fights than Tyson Fury, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Anthony Joshua is an easier fight than Tyson Fury. You see what I'm saying? So besides probably the first, maybe second fight before fighting Anthony Joshua, it would have been an easier road, in my opinion. But Deontay Wilder don't want an easier road. Not only does he not want an easier road, he doesn't want a boss. He deals with PBC, right? They manage him. You know, he fights on the networks that they have contracts with, but he doesn't want a boss. He doesn't want a motherfucker telling him who he's got to fight next. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He says, hey, I want to avenge the fucking fights at which people thought I lost that were close fights. And that is Luis Ortiz and Tyson Fury. He said that at the beginning of this year. What happened? He getting ready to fight Luis Ortiz and Tyson Fury.
Fury.
You know what I'm saying?
He actually would have fought Fury until Bob Arum jumped in.
Exactly. If Fury wouldn't have took the deal, which, look, a lot of people shit on Tyson Fury for taking the ESPN deal. I don't shit on him. Nigga, listen. Tyson Fury was not going to get a deal like that.
But he's in the same position ESPN that Wilder is in with PBC.
Right. He was with Frank Warren. Frank Warren already had the deal with ESPN. They had signed it like 3 months before, right? They had the deal like the partnership deal with Top Rank where they were going to start showing their fighters. Frank Warren was going to start showing his fighters on ESPN. So that little partnership was signed like 3 months before Tyson Fury signed to fight Deontay Wilder in December of last year, right? But here's the deal. Tyson Fury was not a part of that deal, right? No. If Tyson Fury was still going to elect to fight Francisco Pianetas and fucking Sefer Seferi, the nigga with the two first names and shit, you know what I'm saying? If he was going to elect to fight them cats still, he probably wouldn't have got the deal that he got from Top Rank. You see what I'm saying? So, a lot of people say this. They say Deontay Wilder used Tyson Fury. I disagree. Tyson Fury used Deontay Wilder and it's not because Deontay Wilder was popping. He was this big major heavyweight, super popular. That's not what I'm saying at all. Deontay Wilder was seen at the heavyweight division at that time as the other guy besides Anthony Joshua, right? If you're a heavyweight and you don't fight Anthony Joshua, the next guy everybody was looking at was, okay, well then fight Deontay Wilder. You see what I'm saying? He was the other guy. And in some cases, Deontay Wilder was somewhat of a boogeyman because a lot of people think after that $50 million offer, Anthony Joshua ducked Deontay Wilder. It goes both ways. People think Deontay Wilder ducked Anthony Joshua, etc. But there was a lot of people that felt after that $50 million shit, when he said, Anthony Joshua said, I'll take $50 million, and they called his bluff, and he didn't take that shit, they said Anthony Joshua ducked Deontay Wilder. There's a lot more people saying that, bro. So he was seen as kind of a boogeyman. Tyson Fury took that fucking fight, right? And he actually, in my opinion, defeated Deontay Wilder.
Most definitely 100%. Right?
That rose his fucking stock all the way the fuck up here, bro. Off the charts. You can't even see my goddamn hand no more. You see what I'm saying? Once that happened, that's when Top Rank said, here's your money. So he actually used Deontay Wilder to get a deal that he otherwise wouldn't have gotten if he would have kept fighting the guys like Francisco Pianeta. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he used Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's like, nah, we gonna run this shit back. And I'm gonna defeat your ass this time. I'm gonna beat your ass, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, the fact that he's still able to get big fights without even being with DAZN, you gotta say it was a good move.
Yep.
Right? I mean, he's showing us that he's able to get big fights on pay-per-view, right? Without being with DAZN. So why would it be a dumb move? Why wouldn't it be a smart move? You see what I'm saying? So,
I mean, think about this, man. Can anybody tell me, because the roles are kind of reversed. Anthony Joshua used to be the big pay-per-view star over in the UK. He's on DAZN. Ain't no pay-per-view on DAZN.
Right.
Now Deontay is doing pay-per-view. Can anybody sit there and tell me that they saw Deontay Wilder being a pay-per-view fighter? Headlining the pay-per-view?
Man, look, no. When he was fighting Eric Molinas and Johan Duhaupas and Arthur Spilkers and Gerald Washington's, nigga, I'll be the first motherfucker to tell you no. I was a huge Deontay Wilder detractor at that time, man.
I remember.
This motherfucker's a WBC champion fighting niggas that I can beat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No, man, I didn't. No, I sure absolutely not. But when I started to turn is when he actually called Anthony Joshua's bluff. Right? I don't give a fuck if y'all don't believe the money was really there. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah. That's either here nor there. Only thing we could deal with is what is out there. And what was out there was Anthony Joshua said, give me $50 million. They said, okay, motherfucker, here you go. We got the money for you. What's happening? And in public, Anthony Joshua still did not take that fight in public. I don't give a fuck what happened behind the scenes. Okay? In public, he still didn't take the fight. That was when I started to turn. Then he called out Luis Ortiz. That's when I was like, yeah, he's trying to change his image.
Yeah.
You call out Luis Ortiz, a motherfucker at that time that was seen as probably the most gifted heavyweight, and he didn't even have a belt, and you call him out? Yeah, bro. Yeah, he's changing his image. He knows that motherfuckers see him as a guy that fought a bunch of motherfuckers that, you know what I'm saying, that Bo could have knocked out in 2 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Out of shape Bo. And out of shape Bo would have knocked them niggas out in 2 rounds. Right? You know, Kelvin Price. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Bo would have knocked that nigga the fuck out. That nigga Kelvin Price. Nigga, you seen the top of that nigga head?
That nigga was garbage, dog.
No, the top of that nigga head is scrunched up, look like a pack of sausages, nigga.
That nigga was garbage, dog. That nigga was garbage, dog.
Why the fuck the top of that nigga's head scrunched up like that, bro? Look like that nigga had a pack of sausages sitting on his fucking head, man. Talking about he a boxer. Man, get your ass the fuck up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? So, Bo would have knocked that nigga the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Malik Scott, Bo would have knocked that nigga the fuck out. A washed up Sergey Likovich.
Malik Scott, bitch ass.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Sergey Likovich, yeah. Scared of the
that's Malik Scott.
Yeah. Oh, Malik Scott, yeah, he was real scared. Both of them were scared, though, bro. Sergey Likovich should have did way better than the first round knockout, if I'm not mistaken. He got knocked out in the first round. This is a former fucking champion, man. He should have did way better. He was washed up, but he still should have did way better, right? So, Bo would have knocked all them niggas out, man. You know what I'm saying? So, absolutely, bro. I was not thinking, you know what I'm saying, that was the situation. But he turned his image around, and now I can, listen, we're not team any fighter. Get it correct. We don't, listen, ain't nobody paying me to talk good about them. Shit, if Team Wilder was like, hey, you go, bro, here go a couple stacks, man. Make sure you talk real good about us. You know, make sure 3 Kings Boxing is publishing articles real good about us. Then yeah, nigga, hey, nigga, you know what I'm saying? I might have to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's not the fucking case. We're not team anybody. But we call it like we see it. You can't sit here and say Deontay Wilder calling out Luis Ortiz, calling out Tyson Fury, at least jumping the gun. That nigga jumped up. Like he was sitting down. Tyson Fury said, I want to fight Deontay Wilder. That nigga was like, oh shit, nigga, hold up, nigga, hold up. You know what I'm saying? He jumped up. He said, yeah, nigga, give me that fight. Right? And then called out Luis Ortiz for a rematch in a fight that a lot of people thought he was losing before he knocked him out. And then said he'd rematch Tyson Fury, a fight that I even thought he lost. You can't say he's not trying to change his image, man. So stop the fucking hate. Yeah, shit, nigga, get that nigga his fucking credit, bro.
And wait a minute, and mind you, we're not even looking at, because I'm not giving him Povetkin because that was a mandatory, right? Povetkin was a mandatory, so I'm not even gonna give him Povetkin, even though a lot of people said if he gets past Povetkin, I'll give him credit. But Povetkin was a mandatory, right? I'm talking he did not have to fight Luis Ortiz. He did not have to fight Tyson Fury.
Right.
And I said before, I said what Wilder has to do is he either has to fight Joseph Parker or Luis Ortiz. He got to fight one of them dudes. And this is right after Anthony Joshua had just beat because it was right after he fought Klitschko. I said, listen, what Wilder needs to do right now, he either got to fight Joseph Parker or Luis Ortiz. Mm-hmm. He tried to fight Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker acted like he wanted to fight, but then was lured away from that money. Exactly. So then he went and he got Luis Ortiz. So I agree with you 100%, man. You can't say that, you know, everybody's always going to have something to say. And of course, when you don't like somebody, it's easy to come up with shit to say about a motherfucker. Right? Like, for example, I could tell all of y'all, for all the talking y'all talking about, you know, how did Anthony Joshua become a champion? Well, he beat Charles Martin. Well, you know, here's a little fun fact, motherfuckers. Charles Martin and Deontay Wilder fought on the same fucking day, January 16th, 2016. Yeah. But only one motherfucker got a contract for a fight. Why was that? Explain that to me, niggas.
Hey, they said, give me the nigga on the undercard.
Give that nigga an undercard. Right?
Give me that nigga right there, that ugly ass fat dreadlock nigga. Give me that nigga. Give me that motherfucker.
Right. Give me that nigga on the undercard. See, I can say that to y'all. Right? But at the end of the day, like you said, man, he heard the criticism, he hears it, and he's trying to make better fights. So I like the fact that he didn't take it, because do y'all really think right now, waiting, either two things would have happened. He'd have had to fight a bunch of who the fucks, which would have really fucked him up with everybody. Yeah. Like everybody be like, there go Deontay Wilder doing that bullshit again, right? Or he'd have been sitting waiting to see what was going to happen between Ruiz and Anthony Joshua.
Word up. What's good, Easy Mike? Word up, man. Let me go to the chat for a little bit, man. Heisenberg said, do y'all still consider Ortiz a boogeyman? That's a good question, man. What do you think about that, Bo? I'm going to deflect. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to deflect on that one, nigga. What do you think about that, Bo? What do you think about that, Bo?
I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say he's a boogeyman, but what I am gonna say is he is still a guy that'll give anyone these heavyweights trouble. Because mind you, there are people, and rightfully so, that will say, yo, man, he had a chance to fight Anthony Joshua and he didn't. Well, yeah, no, he didn't, but at the same time, that was Al Heyman saying, hey man, look here, man. You ain't taking that motherfucking money, you ain't taking that fucking fight. I need you for my guy, which is Wilder. Because if I let you go over there and fight Joshua, I don't have nobody for Deontay. So fuck that. I need you for my guy. I need you for my guy. So, turn that shit down. We'll make up for this motherfucker later. But no, motherfucker, no. That's what exactly. Yeah, that's what he did. So no, man, I'm not gonna sit and say he's still a boogeyman. I will say that he's still a dude that's good enough to give anybody trouble if he fights him.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. I think Ortiz is a boogeyman compared to other fighters in the division. Like you can't call Luis Ortiz a boogeyman in general because somebody's already beat him and knocked him out, and then somebody's already calling him out. The definition of a boogeyman is somebody that nobody wants to fight. You see what I'm saying? Like, when Rigo was ruling the roost at 122, you had motherfuckers changing weight classes. You had motherfuckers saying, yeah, I'll fight him if I win this fight, and they win the fight and say, man, but he's boring. I got kids to feed, and then they jump weight classes. You got motherfuckers saying, I would fight him, but my dad told me not to. You know what I'm saying? That's a fucking boogeyman, dog. Nobody wants to fight the nigga. You got motherfuckers that are in the fight with him that is scared as fuck, so scared that they act like they got hit with a illegal punch and bow out of the goddamn fight. They fake getting knocked out.
Yeah. I'm Moses Flores.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That's how scary this motherfucker was. But when Vasyl Lomachenko called him out and said, yeah, nigga. Well, he didn't call him out. Let me say this. When Vasyl Lomachenko said, I'll fight you, since you talking all this shit, not only will I fight you, I'll beat your ass and not even give myself credit for the win. And then he went in there, signed the contract, and got in the ring with him and beat him and made him quit. Rigo's no longer a boogeyman. You see what I'm saying? Errol Spence, a guy a lot of motherfuckers avoided. Well, they're not avoiding him no more. He's no longer a boogeyman. That's a boogeyman to me. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But there's maybe from the perspective of certain fighters, maybe yeah. But globally, not at all, bro. Not at all. All right, man. Let me see. There's another one, man. Let me.
Yeah, we got Kashad in the building.
Kashad in this month? Oh yeah, Kashad. Yeah, I saw him talking shit, man.
Keith Sweat in the building.
Keith Sweat. Kashad be singing to them hoes.
Oh man, he be whining, baby, please, please. I know I'm a little motherfucker, baby, but please.
Look, this nigga said Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury was a draw. Oh man.
Walking around with his LDBC draws on again, I see.
Shout out to my niggas from the LDBC, man, but we don't always agree, man. You know what I'm saying? Those are my niggas, man. We are the official news source for the LDBC. Shout out to 78, all my niggas, man, but we don't always agree. It is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? This nigga said I was hating on Deontay Wilder. This nigga said I told both these cats Wilder was gonna scalp Luis' 77-year-old ass. That's what he said. Yeah, that nigga scalped him all right. It took that nigga 10 rounds to do it. 10 rounds of getting his ass beat.
It did.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna even lie.
Nah, that's what's up, man. Let's move on to the next one, bro. Next one, man. Is the WBA worse than the WBC? And let me address this for a second, man. Let me put this in context so niggas know what we're talking about. The WBC, right, has been recently known for their addition of what's called the franchise championship, right? The franchise championship consists of a fighter who formerly hold the WBC title, and they have now been upgraded to a non-belt status, to which much say is a designation, to where that fighter can basically still fight for undisputed status, doesn't have to fight as mandatories, and also, even if he loses, well, hey, he's still the franchise champion. He becomes the franchise champion for as long as he wants. Doesn't matter, right? That is the franchise definition, you know, in a short, nice summary, right? The WBA.
Niggas, how you talk at work?
Fuck you. Hell no.
You be Timothy Bradley at your job, nigga.
I talk to them motherfuckers at work just like how I talk to you. That's why I still show my goddamn face. You know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about none of them motherfuckers seeing me on here. Matter of fact, there's a couple motherfuckers from work that follow us. Motherfucker hit me up not too long ago, man. He was like, man, I saw the podcast, man.
What's up?
Word up. But check. The WBA has been doing something like this for a long time now. It was called the WBA Super Champion. Here's the deal with the Super Champion. The difference here is that if you lose, you got to get that status up, right? It's a belt, right? Also, it's actually seen as the true champion. The franchise champion is not really seen as the true champion. The WBC title holder is still seen as the true champion of the organization, right? But the WBA Super Champion has superseded the WBA regular title, right? Which used to be the title of old, right? And is now seen as the true champion of that division. Those are the differences. Here are the fucking similarities. A WBA champion doesn't have to uphold to a mandatory position, or doesn't have to uphold anyway to a mandatory challenger, right? The WBA regular champion has to fight the mandatory. Also, the WBA Super Champion really doesn't have any stipulations to where he has to fight the WBA regular champion. He doesn't have to. Just like the franchise champion doesn't have to fight the WBC title holder, the WBA regular super champion does not have to fight the WBA regular champion. You see what I'm saying? So those are the similarities here. But here's the problem when I ask, is the WBA worse? The WBA has like 100 fucking titles. The WBC does too, but the WBA is giving these motherfuckers away, man. Like they are literally, now we know the WBC tried to give that silver title to Noye. He was like, man, get that shit the fuck out of here. Yeah, he tried. The diamond belt, excuse me. Man, get that shit out of here, bro. We know that. But the WBC is not really known for that, right? That was an anomaly. That's why niggas was laughing at it so hard. The WBA has been doing this shit for years, B. Recently, a lot of y'all might not know who this guy is. French hard-hitting Arsene Goulamirian. Arsene Goulamirian was a WBA gold champion, wherever the fuck that means, right?
The nigga went from interim to gold.
Right. Yeah, he did. He went to interim. You're right. He was an interim champion.
Went to gold.
Went to gold, right? He fought. Then he was elevated to regular status because he was supposed to fight Beibut Shumanov, who's the WBA regular champion at cruiserweight right now, right? Beibut Shumanov had to bow out of the fight. I think it was injury, right, Bo?
Yeah.
Yeah, had to bow out of the fight due to injury. So
Beibut Shumanov. No, Don King won the purse bid and never put the motherfucker.
That's what it was. Don King won the purse bid and said, fuck it. Basically won the purse bid and threw the goddamn opportunity in the trash can. Right. So with that being said, the WBA said, well, shit, if the fight's not going to happen, we're just going to upgrade Arsene Goulamirian. Gave him the WBA regular. Gave it to him, right? Then he was supposed to fight WBA super champion at the time, Denis Lebedev. Denis Lebedev abruptly retired, right? Lebedev wanted to fight Alexander Usyk. That was why he was sticking around. Usyk went up to heavyweight. He said, fuck it, I'm gone then. So he retired. Super champion became vacant. Here comes the WBA again. They said, oh, another vacant title. And this is the top one, Arsene. Here you go. They upgraded this guy twice within a year without him having to fight anyone. Name a time when the WBC has done that. Not once, but twice within a year. The same person they elevated, right? Name one time the WBC has done that, bro. What do you think about that, man?
Bermain Stavern comes to mind.
Yeah.
This is why. He was supposed to fight Povetkin for the interim championship, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. He popped.
And that was for the right to fight Deontay Wilder. Povetkin popped.
It was actually, I think it was Stavern that popped dirty. Stavern popped dirty.
No, it was Povetkin.
Okay.
It was Povetkin. Remember, Povetkin wound up fighting Duhopis.
Okay.
Remember they pulled Duhopis in.
Oh yeah, that motherfucker fell. No, it was both of them, Bo. Cause Povetkin.
Oh, that's right. Stavern was the drink.
Right. Povetkin popped dirty twice in 1 year with fucking Lucas Brown. That's what happened.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
So they pulled out, and Bermain Stavern was being told by the WBC, well, you're going to have to fight Ortiz for the belt. He's like, no, I ain't fighting for the belt. Y'all should just give it to me. Like, no, motherfucker, we ain't finna give you this belt. You got to fight somebody for this motherfucker. We can't just give you this belt. You got to fight somebody. Right? And he's like, nah, I ain't doing that. Now, to Stavern credit, I do agree with him in this aspect of, if this motherfucker pop, y'all should make me the Mando. But I also agree with the WBC. We're not just going to give you no motherfucking belt, nigga. You got to fight somebody. Right? That's why Stavern never was interim anything. He just rewarded being the fucking Mando.
Yeah.
Another name I'm gonna toss at y'all. Jose Uzcategui. The IBF said, all right, listen, we have this situation with Darrell. Shit ain't working. We'll give you this belt, but nigga, understand that's only with the intent of your defense is against this mother. Your next fight defense is against this motherfucker right here. And that was Caleb Plant.
Yeah.
They said, we'll give you this belt, but motherfucker, you got to fight Caleb Plant. Your first defense got to be against Caleb Plant. Okay? So it ain't no just get out of jail free card, here you go. Yeah, we're giving you this belt with the pretense of knowing that you are defending this motherfucker against Caleb Plant.
Right.
The WBA has told Nathan Guliman after beating Mark Flanagan?
Mark Flanagan? Who?
That nigga's the equivalency of David Price or
Damn.
David Allen.
Yeah, I was going to say David Allen.
David Allen? Mark Flanagan?
Yeah.
He fought Mark Flanagan.
Wait, you sure it wasn't Terry Flanagan?
Mark Flanagan.
Damn.
Mark Flanagan.
Fuck. All right.
Interim title. Mark nigga.
Oh, hell no.
Then he gets the interim title. Then he goes to go. Then 2019 February, motherfucker, all of a sudden after that, the motherfucker becomes regular champion. Then in motherfucking July, August, the nigga somehow becomes, well, here recently, the nigga somehow becomes super champion. He hasn't fought nobody since, I think it's October of 2018 and have went from interim straight to the super motherfucking champion. That is a total fucking disgrace.
Right.
That is a total disgrace. You telling me at no point y'all said, look here, man, we did this shit once. We're gonna pull somebody out of the motherfucking ranking system. we're gonna throw the reel out there. We're gonna reel the motherfucker in from the ranking system, and you got to fight this motherfucker right here for that regular title. So you have a guy who, for whatever unexplained reason, back-to-back events, Shumanov didn't work out, Lebedev didn't work out, and it has denied him of fully embracing the accolade of being a champion because why he beat somebody for that motherfucker. Right. He beat the top dude for it. See, this ain't a situation like people like to say, well, Devin Haney didn't beat nobody for it. Here's the difference. Devin Haney was in a position to fight somebody, but what happened was they elevated Vasil Lomachenko to franchise champion. Right. That was just one time, but Devin Haney had a defense. This motherfucker was elevated twice without even one goddamn defense. Yep. They didn't give him the regular championship and say, okay, man, you got to fight somebody. They gave him a regular title. Then he tried to fight the super champion. When that didn't work out, here you go.
Exactly.
No, man, the WBA is worse because if you look at what they've been doing, then look at what they just did with motherfucking Andrew Kinsale. They said, "Nah, motherfucker, fuck you. We ain't gonna elevate you."
That's a damn
but
nigga.
Leo Santa Cruz.
They raw dogged that motherfucker. They found that motherfucker in a prison shower and raw dogged that nigga.
Dude, they didn't even get that nigga to reach around.
Hell nah. They didn't even get that nigga the opportunity to drop the soap. They just grabbed him and bent him over. You know what I'm saying?
You have to look at
they saw that motherfucker in the shower. They said, "Get him." You know what I'm saying? Get him. That shit crazy, bro. Like,
they sure did. They did that nigga like you ever see that karate movie Bones and shit?
Hell yeah.
With, hey, motherfucker walking. Yeah, look at that nigga up in there, y'all.
That shit raw, man. Like
American meat, that motherfucker.
Why they do him like that, Bo? They say, man, fuck you, man. Leo Santa Cruz is coming up. We giving it to him. I told cats, I said, they probably pulled what the WBO pulls. You know how they're doing with Alexander Usyk? He used to be the WBO title holder at cruiserweight, moved up to heavyweight. He's the immediate mandatory. Well, the WBA super title is vacant because Tank Davis moved up, and that's another situation in itself. But Tank Davis moved up. It's vacant. So they said, well, fuck it. Santa Cruz held it at 126. Shit, we let the nigga fight for it at 130 now. Maybe that's what they did. They did the same thing WBO did. You know what I'm saying?
They did, dog. They did. And so you got that, right? Then, like you said, Bivol, he's got elevated up. And now all of a sudden, Juan Pascal is now a regular champion.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Because Juan Pascal beat Marcus Brown. Brown was the interim
title. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know they elevated Pascal though, man.
Pascal's elevated to regular champion, dog.
Pascal getting ready to fight Badu Jack, man. What do you think? Do you think he gonna lose that belt?
I found Badu Jack need to be slapped. What the fuck is you fight? So wait a minute, you wouldn't fight Bivol for that regular champion, but for that regular title, but you'll fight Pascal?
Hey man, Bivol is much more of a danger. Listen, it ain't Badu Jack, it's Pretty Boy Floyd, man. You know that motherfucker was like, let me get that.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Badu Jack, would you fight Dimitri Bivol? Let me get that. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what happened, dog. So, that's Floyd, man. He ain't gonna put him in there with no fucking Dimitri Bivol. Hell no. But Jean Pascal, absolutely. Why? He's on the fucking decline. He shouldn't have beat Marcus Brown. You know
he shouldn't have beat Marcus Brown.
So that's easy money for Badu Jack. I'd take that goddamn fight too, man.
But but that's a way for you to be a 2-division fucking champion though. Well, no, a 2-time champion in light heavyweight division. So you'd have been the champion at 168, now 175. You're gonna be a 2-time champion at 175.
Well, if motherfuckers get their goddamn shit together and realize that the super champion is the real champion by the WBA, the motherfucker wouldn't be no 2-time champion.
Okay, and that's good point, because that's another thing. The WBC, you could be interim, you could be silver, you could be, small dick, Bigfoot champion. You could be whatever champion you want to be. Yeah, you could be the small dick champ. You could be the Bigfoot champ. You could be the no hold getting champ. You could be the beta male champ. Nigga, you could have whatever title you want to hold. They don't consider you a world champion.
Nah, bro.
You gotta hold the WBC title to be considered a world champion.
And that's what makes the WBA worse.
Yep, the WBA, you could be the alpha male, you're a world champion. You could be the beta male, you're a world champion.
You know what I'm saying? Second in command, world champion. What? So that's why I tell cats, man.
Got one owner. This the lieutenant.
Right. That's right. That's what we tell people, like, in terms of the, Canelo being a 4-division champion. How the fuck is he 4-division champion when there's a true champion in the weight class at which he holds the WBA title besides 160? At 168, there's a true champion. So how's he a 4-division champion? Like, it's the same thing at 160. He's the WBA super champion, and Ryota Murata is the fucking regular champion. Are they both world champions now? It's just like at heavyweight. Fucking Andy Ruiz is the WBA super champion, and fucking Manuel Char is the regular champion. Is Manuel Char a fucking world champion now? Stop, man.
If Deontay Wilder fight Manuel Char, is he a unified champion?
Nope. Nope. Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Callum Smith is that nigga at 168 with the WBA. Therefore, Canelo is not a 4-division champion. I'm sorry. He's 3 with a holding a minor title in other divisions.
He's 2 because at 154 Floyd was a super.
Well, whatever. I don't know. It is.
Canelo was a regular.
You might be right about that. I haven't looked at that yet, but he was a WBO champion at 154. He beat Liam Smith. Smith.
Okay, yeah, right. You're right.
He beat Liam Smith. So
he went back down. He sure did. He went back down to fight Liam Smith.
He a 3-division champion. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. He should have fought Erislandy Lara. Was he? I gotta look, man. You sure he wasn't a WBC
no, because when he fought Austin Trout beat Cotto. Cotto was the regular champion.
Regular champion, right?
Yeah, and he beat Trout, and that was a regular title.
He never held the WBC at 154.
No.
No, I know he fought Floyd for it. He wasn't
because
the
Floyd.
Order, though.
Yeah, Floyd was yeah.
Okay.
That shit crazy.
Yeah, the Austin Trout fight was a regular. Man, I remember he fought Erislandy Lara. Lara was a super champion, but his belt wasn't wasn't up for grabs.
Yeah.
So they should have had that belt up for grabs, in my opinion. But it is what it is. But yeah, no doubt, man. WBA is way worse, man. It's not even. I mean, it's the fact that they've been doing this shit for a long time. They have somewhat of an equivalent franchise champion with that WBA super belt, depending on how you look at it. But the WBA super title has much more, prestige. It's much more of a believable true champion status than the fucking franchise tag, right? And then the fact that they allowed 2 world champions in their fucking in their organization, that just puts them over the goddamn cliff, bro. They worse. All right.
They worse, dog.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's
got a beta male as a world champion. Get the fuck out of here.
Hell yeah. Let's move on to the next one, man. So, my man Bo has a message he wants to send to Gary Russell Jr., man. What's that message, Bo? What you want to tell the WBC 126-pound champion that has fought, 5 times in 5 years? some shit like that, bro. What you want to tell him, man? He averaging 1 fight a year, man. What you want to tell him?
Gary Russell. This is a guy that is supposed to be a pound-for-pound fighter. When you look at his talent, you look at his skill, this nigga is supposed to be a pound-for-pound fighter. Mm-hmm. The longest reigning champion in the fucking division. No unification matchup. The dude that walked up to Leo Santa Cruz daddy. Gary, you got to shake it off the pot. Here's the reason why Leo Santa Cruz was able not to fight you, and there was no ruckus about it, because nobody sees you. Nobody sees you. Nobody knows you are. We've seen more of Antoine or Gary Antoine Russell Jr. We've seen more of Gary, I don't know his middle name, Russell Jr.
Antonio, I think. Shit, I don't know, bro.
We've seen more of them niggas.
Right.
Than we have you.
I seen more of him being in their corner than I seen him in the ring fighting.
Exactly. Gary Russell Jr., man, you either need to decide if you're going to be a fighter or if you're going to do some stuff with your family. You seem like you got 1 foot in and 1 foot out of boxing. You need to make a decision, or just go and take both feet and jump out of boxing. You fought once a year for the last 5 years. You told us every year, my nigga, every year, I'm going to fight more. I'm going to fight more. Or I want a big fight. Here's the reason why you're not going to get a big fight, right? Bottom line, you don't fight enough, and this is the straight up truth, and I hate to say this to him. Gary, you don't fight enough for a motherfucker to want to pay tickets to watch your ass. I'm sorry. That's it. That's it, nigga. You don't fight enough for a motherfucker to want to pay their money to watch you, nigga. Right. You don't do it. You just don't do it. You're not Floyd Mayweather. And even that nigga fought twice a year.
Yeah, right. Very good point. Yeah.
You know, even that nigga fought twice a year. Hell, okay. The biggest mega star in boxing fights at least twice, maybe even 3 times a year. Gary, shit or get off the fucking pot.
Word up.
That's it, man. Either you're gonna be a fighter or you're gonna step out of boxing and do some stuff with your family. But this shit that's going on with you, like I said, it's a wasted career because you are a pound for pound fighter. You have everything about you should be pound for pound. You know why nobody talks about you? Hell, do you even know why Al Heyman was the most powerful motherfucking boxing? Leo Santa Cruz would do anything for Al. You know what? Al Heyman haven't forced a hand on that fight. Nigga, you fight once a year. I can't make no money off of you.
Yeah, right.
That's it.
He would make the fight. I mean, look at the fights he's made at the welterweight division.
Yeah. I mean, wait a minute, dog. Think about this. Gary Russell walking around telling everybody, well, I'm a free agent. Al has not tried to scoop you up and fix that problem. Okay, motherfucker, let's see who wants you.
You know what Al did? Al said, nigga, we'll do a fight-to-fight basis. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Fight. When you ready to fight, call me, motherfucker.
That's it. Because niggas ain't beating down the door for you, dog. And they not. So, shit, get off the pot, man.
Damn. I agree 100%. And yeah, just like my man Mike Wilson, 3 Kings boxing in the house. He said, shoot, Russell's mandatory has signed a contract to fight him. Russell should get that out of the way and fight him. Exactly. He's fighting. I'm about to fuck his name all the way up. He's fighting a cat by the name of Nyambayar. He's 11-0 with 9 knockouts.
Dog, we went from Leo Santa Cruz to that.
Yeah, I know, bro. He's the WBC #1 contender, though, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's the #1 contender, the #1 challenger to fight Gary Russell for his title. You got to understand, he fought JoJo Diaz when JoJo Diaz was pretty much in the same boat. You know what I'm saying? JoJo Diaz wasn't that big of a name. He was just a guy signed with Golden Boy. That's why people knew who he was. You know what I'm saying? He's actually bigger now, his beef with Tevin Farmer, than he was when he fucking fought Gary Russell. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he fought him too in the same boat. But this Nyambayar guy, he's the #1 contender. He's undefeated. He's only got 2 fights that went to decision. You know what I'm saying? And he's already signed the contract to face Gary Russell at the end of the year. He's already signed it. Guess what we're waiting on? We're waiting on Gary Russell. That's why the fight ain't signed, sealed, and delivered. We're still waiting on Gary Russell. I don't know, man. You're right. Pound for pound talent. Fucking bum career. Almost bum career.
You know what? When you look at the title defense that he has at WBC and you compare those title defenses to the same thing that Vitaly Klitschko was doing, that shit is horrible what Gary Russell's doing right now, man.
Right. The only reason why I can't say he had a bum career is because he fucking held a belt. That's the only reason.
That's it.
That's the only fucking reason. I don't know. Let's move on to the next one, man. I'm getting depressed talking about this nigga.
Motherfucker, we brought the tone.
You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker depressing me, bro. Let's move on to this next one, man. This might wrap it up, man. You know what? We're going to do 2 more, and then we're going to wrap it up. So, speaking of Tevin Farmer and JoJo Diaz, Tevin Farmer is in the process of reviewing an offer from DAZN that is a multi-fight deal. Once again, just like the first deal, the amount of money is undisclosed. Niggas won't tell us, bro. They paying that nigga $1,500, nigga. They won't tell us. Why won't they tell us, dog? Look, they told us Deontay Wilder's money. They told us Canelo's money. They told us Triple G's money. They told us Anthony Joshua's money. Hell, they told us the motherfucking offer they were going to give Vladimir to come back. They told us that. Why won't they tell us Tevin, man? I mean, I don't count a nigga's money, but it's just peculiar to me that you won't tell us, man. What you think? You
know why, man? If they tell you Tevin, and then somebody comes and make the nigga a bigger offer, they're gonna be like, yo, man, that's a better offer, man. What the fuck? Why you wanna bring that ass over here and fight me, nigga?
Look, we all know Tevin one of them Muhammad stunting ass niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? He a perpetrating ass dude. He think look, man, shout out to Tevin for being the most active champion in boxing. I'll give him that. You know what I'm saying? But active against who? You know what I'm saying? Active against who, bro? Now, he's been Twitter thugging, you know what I'm saying? Calling out Tank Davis, calling out JoJo Diaz. He's been Twitter thugging and shit, you know what I'm saying? And what saves him is the fact that JoJo Diaz just signed the contract to fight him. But prior to that, neither one of those guys had basically made any moves to want to fight him, especially fucking Tank Davis. You know what I'm saying? But the news is JoJo Diaz already signed the contract. He fucking ready. Guess who we're waiting on? Tevin
Farmer.
Exactly. But he's reviewing that offer, right?
Yeah. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that either. He's reviewing the offer, but at the end of the day, you made a good point earlier. He said, nigga, you need Eddie Hearn right now. You take the fucking offer. take the fucking offer, nigga. Eddie Hearn has helped build you. Let me say that. Has helped build him into a notable name by fighting C+ level fighters.
Yep.
Guillaume for Noise. Shout out to my man Jono Carroll, man. I like him a lot, but it is what it is, bruh. Jono Carroll. What's the nigga name? Fucking I done forgot the motherfucking name. He knocked him out with a body shot. UK guy. Damn, nigga, I gotta look this shit up.
Mike 3KINGS is in the chat. Mike, tell us who's that dude that he fought.
Yeah, man, he knocked him out with a body shot, man. Then you got fucking Ogasa, the motherfucker he lost to, but the dude popped hot after that. Billy Dibb. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's
what I'm saying, man? Listen, Bradley talking about some Tank Davis. I mean, goddamn, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Bradley talking about some Tank Davis, man, but goddamn.
But look, Tevin Farmer went through more of a gauntlet. I mean, he
lost. He did. He fought
he lost
the big Turk.
Well, he lost to Jose Pedraza and came back and fought guys that were supposed to be something like fucking the guy Ivan Redcash.
Ivan Redcash. That was the fight. That was the fight that turned his career around.
Pretty much. You know what I'm saying? James Tennyson. That's the dude he hit with the body shot, knocked him out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, matter of fact, I got it up, nigga. Let me make sure I got everybody. Kenichi Ogawa, Billy Dibb, James Tennyson, Francisco Fonseca. That's who I forgot. Who else fought him, Bo? Wasn't it
Tank motherfucking I think Tank fought him after Tevin did.
Nah, before. Because
okay.
Fonseca was undefeated.
That's right.
Tank gave him that first L, and then Tevin gave him his second. Jono Carroll and fucking Guillaume for Noise. You know what I'm saying? He's fighting a bunch of C-class motherfuckers over there at the zone, and Eddie Hearn has helped him build somewhat of an image. So, yes, stay over there, man. Don't move. You know what I'm saying? That's where you need to be, right? So go ahead and sign that lucrative contract. You know what I'm saying? And fight JoJo Diaz in January. Yo, Tevin Farmer remind me of one of them niggas, man, that be lying and shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like you be like, hey, man, shit, man. Oh, man, I've been trying to do that shit for a while, man. He be the first nigga. Nigga, I did that shit last week. Nigga, I saw you over here last week, motherfucker. You didn't do that. Nah, bro, I did it, man. Nigga, on God. On God, I did that, bro. Yeah, he one of them niggas, man. He be lying and perpetrating.
Remember that song by the Clips? Me Too, Mr. Me Too?
Yeah, right. That's tough.
Yo, man, Floyd bought a Bentley. Me too.
Me too. Yeah, he one of them niggas, man. I don't trust anything Tevin Farmer says, bro. Not one bit. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Yeah, that's a good situation. You get JoJo Diaz the first fight. JoJo Diaz is ready for that. I think that's a good fight. It's a better fight than any of those names we just fucking mentioned. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, as a champion, it's a step-up title defense that I believe he should take, man. Word up.
I agree with you 100%. And then, let's see, didn't Oscar Valdez just go to 130?
Yes, sir.
So that's another fight you can look at.
Oscar Valdez trying to get that Miguel Burchelt fight, though. You know, Zanfer got a little thing with Top Rank, too. Zanfer fucks with everybody. The only ones I haven't seen Zanfer fuck with, and correct me if I'm wrong, is PBC. I haven't seen that yet.
No, they haven't.
But they fuck with the Zone, Top Rank, Matchroom. Yeah. They fuck with everybody.
That's the reason why Emmanuel Navarrete is not fighting on Top Rank. He's fighting on Aztec Boxel.
He's fighting on ESPN.
That's on ESPN?
Yes, sir.
I thought that fight was Aztec Boxel.
I looked at it earlier today. That shit on ESPN.
Oh, damn.
It's on both. It's on both.
It's on both. Okay, I'm about to say, yeah.
But ESPN is supposed to be showing it.
Yeah, and that's Zanfer right there.
Yeah, he fought on ESPN his last fight. That's Zanfer.
Yep.
So Andrew Cancio fought on DAZN. That's Zanfer.
Sure did. So, hey.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Zanfer hey, man, don't sleep on them niggas, man. They doing their thing, bro.
They doing their thing. Yeah, I give them their credit. They doing their thing. Now, if they can only get Mariana Juarez to fight motherfucking Jackie Nava, I would be happy.
Yeah, right. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Virtuoso said, what choice does Zanfer have? They have to co-promote to stay afloat. Well, shit, look at Banner and Star Promotions. Them niggas said, we're going to do our own shit. Look at Joe DeGuardia Boxing. You know what I'm saying? Them motherfuckers, we're going to do our own shit. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Zanfer and Tekken Promotions is another one. The Japanese-based promotional company. They're another one, man. They fuck with anybody. You know, they know they the little niggas. They gotta fuck with people, man. But
Yeah, exactly.
the mother ones that we named, I don't think they see it that way. They comfortable in their own space. So, you know, it is what it is. All right, man, we're gonna move on to the last one. It's gonna be it. My man, Dillian White. Now, there was an article published on the website, and I guess the headline or the title kind of confused a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So I want to address this real quick. The headline confused a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Basically it said, it's Dillian White removed from the rankings, right? Should have been a question mark at the end of that. Or it said Dillian White was removed from all major major organizations' rankings, right? Should have been a question mark at the end of that. There's an exclamation point by mistake, right? The question is being posed because if you look at all 4 major sanctioning bodies' rankings, he's out of 3 out of the 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
The WBC still has him ranked number 1, but here's the deal. The WBC has not updated their rankings since they announced earlier this month that Tyson Fury is going to be taking over that mandatory position, right? If you know how the ranking systems work, they only update every month. They don't update during the month. They bring a whole new fucking probably Excel/CSV sheet and upload that shit to the website. That's probably what.
Yeah, that shit like a credit report.
Exactly, right? It's every month. Exactly, Bo, right? So that's why you're still seeing him number 1 by the WBC. Now, Mauricio Sulaiman released a statement basically saying that Dillian White will still be ranked. He just won't be the mandatory. But previously, it was said that he will be removed from the rankings. So we're kind of in limbo there, right? But what is a fact, what we do know, is that he would no longer be the fucking mandatory. And they announced this shit months ago. You know what I'm saying? Or at least the beginning of the month, excuse me. They suspended him months ago. And the suspension is what got people believing that he's going to be removed completely, right? So, but if you look at the IBF, the WBA, and the WBO, he's completely not ranked in any of those sanctioning bodies. Now, a lot of people jump the gun and say, yeah, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker took drugs. Nigga was on heroin, cocaine, and shit. PCP. You know what I'm saying? That's why the nigga out of the rankings.
That was before all that shit happened.
I urge you guys to read articles. Look at the headline. Read the article. All right? The article basically talks about how Dillian White was unranked by those other 3 organizations way before he fought Oscar Rivas and popped hot. You know what I'm saying? The IBF stopped ranking that motherfucker in April. The last time he was ranked was April of 2018 by the IBF.
When he turned down that Kubrat Pulev fight.
Exactly. Didn't take the Kubrat Pulev fight. Kubrat Pulev has since gone on and beat Hughie Fury to take over the fucking mandatory position. You know what I'm saying? The WBA stopped ranking him in June of 2019. He fought Oscar Rivas July of 2019. All right? The WBO stopped ranking him that month, July of 2019, right? The August rankings, no Dillian White. So if you really look at things, probably the only sanctioning body besides the WBC, what the WBC said they're going to do, the only sanctioning body that you can actually come to a possible conclusion that they might have taken him out of their rankings because of the failed drug test is the WBO.
You see.
You know what I'm saying? The WBO had him ranked in July. They didn't have him ranked in August. You know what I'm saying? He fought Oscar Rivas in July, popped hot in July, right? But the situation there is that he grabbed the interim title from the WBC. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of confusion at whether the interim title holders are actually ranked. I've seen it before in other situations. I saw that they're not ranked. So it's hard to tell. You know what I'm saying? It's really the sanctioning bodies that have made a lot of confusion in this. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to tell why the WBO didn't rank him. Hell, it's hard to say why the WBA didn't fucking rank him after June of 2019. What happened there? You know what I'm saying? But the IBF is clear cut. He didn't fight Kubrat Pulev. So I wanted to address, and I wanted to tell you guys, that article is not saying Dillian White is not ranked by all 4 sanctioning bodies. because of his failed drug test. Hell, even in the second paragraph of that article, we clearly state the WBC still has him fucking ranked. But that shit should change in the December rankings. You know what I'm saying? So, read the articles, man. But while we're on this topic, I'll let you close it out, man. What do you think about Dillian White's situation, man? And just the fuckery of the ranking systems, man, keeping them unranked and, you know, the whole situation with him losing mandatory status. Even though he didn't fail a VADA test, he failed a UCAD test. VADA deals with WBC. UCAD doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
What's the deal with this shit, man?
I don't think UCAD deals with any other governing sanctioned bodies, which makes this shit right. What makes this shit even weird with the WBC.
They deal with the BBBFC. That's
right. So that makes like the UCAD is the whole. Listen, the whole fuckery about it was, you know, what fucked them up was the secret fucking meeting. That secret meeting that they had without telling anybody is what caused this whole fucking debacle.
Yeah.
Okay? If they'd have came out and said, listen, UCOD is claiming there's some shit. We got a meeting with them. We're gonna go check this out. They'd have been upfront about it. When you try to do something secretly, it looks like you got something to hide.
Right.
Okay? So that fucked them up right there. The situation with Dillian White, though, and I said this, I remember I asked this question one time, and this is back when we had them two refugees working at 3KINGS Boxing. I'm sorry.
Oh, hell. Word. Word up. Inside joke. Some of y'all motherfuckers that know who we are, y'all know what we talking about, man. Oh, word up, man.
I said, can you make the case that Dillian White has ducked both Luis Ortiz and Kubrat Pulev? And the reason why I said that was he was a mandatory, he was being put in a mandatory status position with the IBF. IBF don't fuck around. You get that Mando, you got to fight the Mando. And then the same thing with Luis Ortiz because the WBC ordered it, right? He turned it down to fight who? To fight Joseph Parker. Right. Now, granted, that was for some type of WBO interim, whatever belt that was for. But all that did was put him in a ranking. That didn't guarantee him a title shot. So he has effectively, by not fighting either Ortiz or Kubrat Pulev, he's effectively moved himself down to where you have to depend on only one organization because, like you said, the WBO immediately placed Tyson Fury over his ass. And then Usyk jumped over him after that.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
The WBO immediately put that on Tyson Fury. He lost to Wilder. No, motherfucker. Wait a minute. Did Tyson Fury sign with top rank? Oh, yeah. But that's enough. That's the World Bob Organization belt. Move that motherfucker up.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Move.
Exactly.
Tyson Fury signed with Bob. Oh, Tyson Fury, he's officially signed with Bob. We was going to put the nigga at 5, but put that motherfucker at number 2.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Move that nigga up a little bit, man.
Put that nigga up at the line a little bit. Right? Then Usyk, he moved up. He said, Usyk? Yeah. Move that nigga up. All right? So he got bumped down from them. Of course, the IBF took him completely out the rankings. The WBA kind of just acted like the nigga just wasn't there no motherfucking more. And then the WBC have been putting the fuck to him for a while. So Dillian White's situation, although it's harsh, is semi-self-inflicted. And you can go back to the fact that you had 2 fights that you could have taken that would have put you in a better position, and you didn't take them. Hell, even Dominic Brazzelli said, all right, man, fuck it. You don't like the fact that I'm a Mando. I'll fight you for that position and the winner fights Wilder.
Right.
But you didn't do that. You was going to leave Eddie Hearn over whatever issues you had. You didn't do that. You stayed there. So this is self-inflicted, and it's sad because I've said this numerous times, but WBC was putting the fuck to him. I will stick with that. I don't care what y'all say. They were putting the fuck to him. But in the end, you allowed them to put the fuck to him with the moves that you was making.
Right, I agree.
And then this failed drug test that shouldn't mean shit to us, and it really shouldn't because it's UCAD. But it only means something because y'all tried to act like it never happened. Right. And then everybody found out about it, and it became a shitstorm. So it's self-inflicted, and because it's self-inflicted, you're looking at possibly maybe not being able to get you a title fight to 2021. And by then, even if you're named mandatory 2021, Deontay got a whole year to fight you, man.
Exactly.
Got a whole year to fight you.
He ain't got a motherfucker. I mean, listen, man. They might put him back at number 1. Ain't not necessarily gonna put him back in a mandatory position.
Mm-hmm.
They saying that now, but that's not guaranteed, bro. You know what I'm saying? There could be even more fuckery that comes on after that, bro. So it is what it is. Denise Waters made a good point. She said before all of this chaos, White should have basically went the WBA route.
I agree 100%.
The WBA route would have been an easier way to get to a title. I mean, you would have been fighting. They would have had at the time Jarrell Miller, Trevor Bryant. You know what I'm saying? A fucking Bo's homeboy, Frez Okendo.
Dog, the nigga could be the regular champion right now.
Yeah, he would have been. I think Lucas Brown. He already fought Lucas Brown. Lucas Brown was up there at that time.
Yep.
He actually already fought him. You know what I'm saying? Manuel Charr is still up there. That's who was at the top of the fucking WBA rankings at that time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree with that. He should have went that route. Could have went the IBF route as well. Should have fought Kubrat Pulev. Why not fight? What the fuck? I like Pulev, man. You know, he cool, bro. You know,
and Pulev is sitting on that mandatory, ain't he? He just sitting there like, Pulev, we gotta fight for you.
Nah, bro. They asked him. They said, "You want to fight Tyson Fury, so we don't gotta fight Otto Wallen?" He said, "Man, why the fuck would I do that, nigga? I'm a mandatory, nigga. Shit. I'm over here waiting for this big money fight to end, nigga. I want to see the result so I can fight that motherfucker."
Oh yeah, you niggas ain't asking Fury to fight Usyk. Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. I agree 100% with Kubrat Pulev, man. Why the fuck would I fight Tyson Fury when I got a more lucrative fight on the goddamn horizon, the winner between Ruiz and Joshua? You know what I'm saying? Shit. That shit could be out in the desert. Nigga, who knows?
Hey, real talk, though, they got to make a decision because both the WBA, WBO, and the IBF got Mendos that they're claiming, and Eddie Hearn has already openly admitted that there might be a situation after Ruiz fight, Joshua might be short a belt.
He might have to drop a belt. The one organization that he probably really has to worry about is the IBF. The IBF be itching to mandate a nigga, bro. And they've been sitting idly by. You know what I'm saying? They've been sitting idly by. This is the most I've ever seen the IBF be quiet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
So they might have to worry about that. Listen, man. Unless he drops the IBF belt, he will be fighting Kubrat Pulev. If he keeps the IBF belt, I'm just saying hypothetically, Anthony Joshua wins the fight, the rematch, he will be fighting Kubrat Pulev. Whoever wins the rematch is fighting Pulev if they decide to keep that belt.
100. I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
100. And if I'm Deontay Wilder, whatever belt he gets stripped of, I'm throwing my hat in the ring to fight the motherfucker for the vacant title.
Hell yeah, bro.
I'm pulling a Lomachenko.
Exactly. I agree 100%.
I'm telling Al, crack open the bank, motherfucker.
Yeah. See, I could see if he were to drop the WBA title, I could see a fucking Manuel Charr versus Trevor Bryant fight for that super title. I could see that. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
I mean,
stop that. I'm Deontay Wilder. I'm like, hey, I'm fighting for that super championship, niggas. Put that. I'm fighting for that.
Yeah.
I want that super title.
Yeah, I can see that though, man. I can see them following suit with that shit, man. But yeah, man, I just wanted to clear up that Dillian White situation, man, because a lot of motherfuckers ran with that, which was cool. But at the same time, man, we're not about misinformation. We don't want y'all to get things misconstrued. You know what I'm saying? We want y'all to actually read the articles and learn what we're talking about, man. Because I guarantee you right now, all them people that was running with the whole he's not ranked because of drug testing, guaranteed none of them motherfuckers, 100% guaranteed, none of them motherfuckers knew that he wasn't ranked a whole year prior. You know what I'm saying? To fighting Oscar Rivas. So when you read the articles, you definitely gonna learn from 3KB, man. All right. On that note, y'all know what to do. Go to 3kingsboxing.com for the latest and greatest of boxing news and information as well as interviews. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, don't do that, bro. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Go to Instagram. You know what I'm saying? At 3kingsboxing. Twitter at 3kingsboxing. Facebook.com / this motherfucker, man. / 3kingsboxing. Y'all know what it is, man. Hey, y'all better start coming to the podcast. I know it's only the second day since our 2-month layoff, but we got way better shit to do, man. I'll shut this shit down again. Like, comment, share this motherfucker. Bring people to the podcast, man. We will shut this motherfucker down again. You know what I'm saying? Every Monday and Thursday, 7 o'clock Eastern time. I know we not here at 7 o'clock, but wait, motherfucker, we gonna come on. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? 7 o'clock Eastern time. That's 6 o'clock Central. That is 4 o'clock Pacific. You know what I'm saying? All right. But y'all know what to do, man. Hit us up. Follow us. Call in, man, to some of these podcasts. If you got questions, don't forget to call in. Hit us up. Ask us questions. We'll stop the podcast for a second, answer your question, and move back on to it. If you want to say that you appreciate 3 Kings like my man Virtuoso did in the last call, we really appreciate that. That makes us happy. Puts a warm feeling in our hearts. You know what I'm saying? When y'all do some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But until then, we out this bitch.